Hi, I'm Natalia, your fashion stylist. Welcome to my Christmas episode. Let's see if I'm getting anything for Christmas. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, and I have a glass too. Today I'm drinking Giron. Oh, you know me, I'm a pro. Yay! Giron. And of course, I'm going to talk handbags today. Cheers. Okay, let's talk. And back to my business clothes. Handbags are thousands years old. It all surely started as an accessory for men, of course. And it looked like today's purse. In fact, it was a purse. A merce? But it quickly migrated into a woman's wardrobe, becoming a true accessory. Women would decorate, embellish, and embroider it. The big bag era started with a travel, and we're not only talking about the rich people, but everyone. Going somewhere became more accessible, and people wanted to bring their belongings with them, and they used trunks, massive trunks. They had domed lids and were okay until, well, let's meet the man, Louis Vuitton. Of course, I'm going to tell you everything about Louis Vuitton, not only because he founded one of my favorite brands of handbags, but also because he was the person. He and his son George invented a lot of things that handbag makers still use today. History lesson, and I briefly talked about it in my other Louis Vuitton video on my channel. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Louis Vuitton founded the company in 1854 in Paris. In 1858, he introduced the Trianon canvas. This was a canvas that he treated with the flour-based glue that made it waterproof and extremely durable. He also decided to ditch the dome lids and make them flat so the trunks are easily stackable. Can you imagine the revolution? Such a small detail. At some point, Louis Vuitton even started making the trunk beds that were very convenient for travel. The Trianon canvas also solved a very important problem, the smell. See, the old trunks were made with leather, and as it got older, it started to smell awfully, making all the things inside the trunk smell too. Gross. Later, in 1888, Louis' son Georges presented the Damier canvas. This is the famous checked canvas that Louis Vuitton still uses today. This was also the first time when the logo of the brand was put outside on the item. Georges was also a problem solver. The biggest one was the theft. Georges was determined to invent the lock. In 1890, he and two of his locksmith employees developed, patented, and presented the unpickable lock. They started putting it on Louis Vuitton trunks. And there were also stories about thieves breaking into the hotel rooms, trying to open the Louis Vuitton trunks with picks and brute force, but unsuccessfully. Another story, and it's totally unconfirmed, that George offered Harry Houdini to escape one of Louis Vuitton trunks. We can only guess if this conversation ever happened. In 1896, Georges presented and patented the Louis Vuitton monogram canvas. At this point, the Louis Vuitton brand is recognizable all over the world. Of course, the Louis Vuitton canvas is now treated with modern polymers and not the glue. But that canvas is still very durable and lightweight and makes the bags basically immortal. And before we move on to the next handbag maker, I want to tell you a story behind the creation of one of the iconic Louis Vuitton handbags, the Noe. In 1932, one champagne maker came to Louis Vuitton and asked them to create a bag that can hold 5 bottles of champagne, 4 in the corners and 1 upside down in the middle, and this is how Noe bag was born. Brilliant! Okay, and the next we have Thierry Hermes and the Hermes brand, founded in 1837. He started as a saddle maker and later added some clothes and accessories for the riders. It was only in 1880 when the head of the company became Thierry's son, Charles-Émile, and he created a handbag for the riders to carry their saddle. Yes. In 1918, the stars aligned for the youngest son of Charles-Émile, Émile. He discovered the zipper and also received complaints from his wife about not being able to find a decent handbag. Totally relatable. So he decided to make one, because why not? In 1956, people saw the Fresh Princess of Monaco, Grace Kelly, carrying a sac à dépêche Hermes handbag on the pages of Vogue. This is how the Kelly bag was born. They say another legendary handbag, the Birkin bag, was born just because of a happy coincidence. Jane Birkin, who was an actress, a model, a singer, and a mom, got upgraded to a business class on the flight and got a seat right next to a head of Hermes, Jean-Louis Dumas. And I must say that Jane was also famous for her straw basket. She would carry it everywhere. There are tons of pictures of her with that straw basket. So she took it on the flight and she tried to put it in the overhead compartment, and it fell down and everything spilled, also all over Jean-Louis Dumas. He tried to help her, and of course he made a comment about her getting a better handbag with pockets and compartments. She replied that a moment Hermes makes a stylish handbag that fulfills all busy moms' needs, she would ditch the basket. Challenge accepted. 1 year later, Hermes presented the Birkin bag. It is now one of the most desirable handbags in the world. Moving on to Gucci. Comparing to two other houses, this brand is fairly young. Gucci worked at the Savoy Hotel, and he saw a lot of beautiful travel trunks. I should start making them, he thought. And in 1921 in Florence, he founded the Gucci brand. The problem was that because of the sanctions against Italy in the 30s, leather was basically unavailable. So Gucci developed a famous monogram canvas called GG Supreme that the brand still uses today. In 1960s, the son of Guccio, Aldo, started using the GG logo. Now let's talk about some important for Gucci handbags. In 1947, the house presents the bamboo bag. The handle was made from the imported Japanese bamboo that was heated and bent into the shape of the handle. This was one very unique handbag for that time, and it quickly became popular. We can see the same handle on the Diana bag from 1990s. In 1955, the world saw the horsebit bag. This was the first time they put the horsebit element on the bag. They also learned that women like handbags with some kind of romantic story behind it. So they totally made up a story about brand's equestrian roots, when in fact Gucci was only inspired by that industry and was never a part of it. But it worked, and the horsebit bag became very popular. In 1961, Jackie Kennedy was spotted on the street carrying the Gucci bag, and it became the famous Jackie bag. Let's talk about the oldest leather goods brand that is still alive today, the Goyard brand. In 1792, Pierre-François Martin founded the House of Martin. He specialized in crafting luggage, trunks, and boxes. Funny story that at some point he moved the headquarters to the new address, and this is the current address of Goyard flagship store, but the old one got later occupied by Louis Vuitton. What a funny coincidence. In 1845, François Goyard began his apprenticeship with the House of Martin. He was only 17 years old. After the head of the company passed away in 1852, Goyard took the leadership and renamed the company to the House of Goyard. He remained the head of the brand for the next 32 years, making sure that only the finest work will bear the Goyard name. In 1885, his son Edmond took the lead, renaming the company yet again to E. Goyard Iné, that means the eldest, and made the company recognized internationally. In 1892, he presented the Goyardine canvas. He coated a custom blend of hemp, linen, and cotton with a waterproofing layer, creating very durable, inexpensive, and lightweight material. He hand-painted the pattern of interlocking Ys using the colored dots. Of course, it's not hand-painted anymore. Instead, there is a process of etching and multi-layered dyeing. The Goyard reversible canvas handbags, like the Anjou and St. Louis, are very lightweight, waterproof, and fold flat for the convenience. Yet they are very durable thanks to the material and extraordinary craftsmanship. Both of them come with a matching mini clutch that can be attached to the bag and used as a wallet. Other Goyard bags are a little more structured and use the elements of the trunks, like tiny trunk nails, hand-carved wood batons, leather lining, trunk clasps, and metal reinforced corners. Like this handbag starts at $5,000. In 1998, the company was purchased by Jean-Michel Signol, putting an end to 150-year-old family-owned history of the brand. Jean-Michel expanded the color scheme and also limited the access to brand's products. Today, the Goyard handbags cannot be purchased online. You either have to go to one of their stores or find a reseller. Unfortunately, like with every other popular handbag, you have to be very careful because there's a lot of fakes. And let me just mention Chanel, only because they make one of the most wanted handbags today. Their iconic handbag was made 2.55 only because it was presented in February of 1955. Originally, it had the Mademoiselle clasp, which was later changed into a double C logo by Karl Lagerfeld. He also added a leather wire into the chain strap. And that's all about Chanel. Today, a handbag is not just a storage anymore. It's a statement. Every season, designers try to reinvent the handbag and ways to carry it. One of my favorite designers, J.W. Anderson, the creative director of Louis Vuitton and his own brand, loves experimenting. Of course, Louis Vuitton has some traditional designs like the puzzle bag, but we also know the pigeon bag and the frog bag. Of course, this is more an accessory than a bag. Balenciaga also shows us some fun styles like the trash bag, or a chip bag, or a shoe bag. Brands also love to collaborate with artists. Louis Vuitton is very famous for their collaborations with Steven Sprouse, Takashi Murakami, Jeff Koons, Yayoi Kusama, and others. Louis Vuitton and their collaboration with the Japanese studio Ghibli, Balenciaga and Gucci that hacked each other's logos and monograms. For spring 2024, we see that handbags are becoming larger, almost to the size of a luggage. Wearing double bags is something that we'll be seeing more of, along with different ways to carry a large handbag. What can I say? Experiment. A handbag is a very powerful tool that can add to your look, elevate it, and make it more fun and playful. And if you are new to the world of the luxury handbags, one of my recommendations is to start with the Louis Vuitton brand. They have bags at different price points. The canvas is very durable and basically immortal. The brand is accessible and they stand behind the quality of their products. And I should be paid for saying this. And you can always reach out and ask me. I'm Natalia, your fashion stylist. Thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.